Coming exactly 2 years since the historic Paris Agreement, the One Planet Summit, which brought together over 60 world leaders as well as actors of public and private finance, is aimed at exploring ways of innovating, supporting and accelerating what the organizers called a common fight against climate change.
There's not a single African head of state who hasn't told me that the boot of climate change is on their necks. They feel it every day.
Which means we need to mobilize resources of the international community to support the governments and the communities of these states to build resilience for their societies.
President Muhammadu Buhari laments that the adverse impact of climate change, such as drying up of water bodies like Lake Chad, gully erosion and constant flooding, are a reality across the country. This reality, the president said, is most felt by highly vulnerable communities who lack the capacity to cope. President Buhari said since the adoption of the Paris Agreement, Nigeria has been strengthening efforts towards implementation and delivering on its pledge to reduce emissions by 20% in 2020 and 40% by the year 2030. Already, he said, Nigeria has embraced the issuance of green bond as innovative and alternative source of project funding. He, however, said without adequate financial, technical and capacity building support, it will be difficult for the country to achieve her ambitious plans, having just come out of recession. A long-term solutions for a source of clean power, the president emphasized, will create economic competitiveness throughout the country, while the recharging of Lake Chad will ensure sustained livelihood for rural and urban communities, check the spread of terrorism, as well as stem the illegal migration of the youth abroad. Addressing such challenges of climate change, he however said, must be pursued within the framework of the United Nations. At the summit, also attended by relevant interest groups, various speakers remarked that the United States is standing on the wrong side of history regarding issues of climate change. But John Kerry assured the gathering that over 80% of Americans are in total support of the renewed efforts at ensuring that the one planet remains sustainable, secure and prosperous.
Donald Trump did not pull the United States out of the Paris Agreement. Donald Trump pulled Donald Trump out of the Paris Agreement.
From Paris, France, Adamu, Sambo, NTA News.